Alright, what's up y'all, LakerFan here. As you can see by the title of today's video, we're here to compare the 6'8" to the 6'9" build in NBA 2K23 and gauge which one is actually the better build. So, I hope y'all enjoy. If you do, feel free to drop a like, sub if you're new, turn on noties, all good stuff, and like always, try to 1 to 2,000 likes. Alright, so, to get straight into this, I want to let you guys know, on the surface, the 6'8" and 9s look very similar to each other as far as the ratings you'll achieve, and just the badge spreads and stuff like that, but what's very different about them is the badge tiering, and then on top of that too, certain thresholds that you meet for certain ratings that are very important, but extremely different. So we're going to start with the ratings first and foremost. Now, as you can see, at 6'9", the steal rating maxes out at 90, even if you have max wingspan. Now that is nice, you get the gold interceptor straight right there. Now, at 6'8", however, when you go max wingspan, you can get 96 steal rating, which gives you gold glove compared to the 6'9's only silver. Not to mention that at 6'8", you can get 84 3-pointer as a max, or in some situations you can go ahead and just get 93. At 6'9", if you go max wingspan, to get that 90 steal rating, you can only get 82 3-pointer, which gives you only bronze agent 3, and at 83 3-pointer, you unlock a lot of different jump shot bases, not to mention, like I said, also silver agent 3. So, extremely important, not to mention the slight difference that we have between the two as well. At 87 ball handle, you only get gold quick first step. At 6'8", even max wingspan, and all types of stuff like that, you get 89, which is just enough for a Hall of Fame quick first step. So, we'll start this video off with two different molds as far as the build that I have created. So we have the 6'9", 185 on the weight, 7'6" wingspan. As you can see, I went down a tick on the wingspan so we can still achieve that 83 3-pointer that I'm talking about. Not to mention that it doesn't really matter because I'm just going to only end up going with 85 steal rating on this build. So I would say the limitation to 6'9" is that your steal rating can't be in the elite threshold. You can't get that 95 plus steal for the gold glove. It's only going to be silver, and while silver is still good, you can still pluck people that don't have unpluckable. When they have unpluckable, you're really useless when it comes to stealing the ball. So this build is not quite as much of the defensive menace, or doesn't have the potential to be that much compared to the 6'8", and especially the 6'7s if we want to detour real quick. As a lot of you guys know, the 6'7s are the only build that can like really potentially be a pure lock. I'm talking 99 steal, you get the Hall of Fame interceptor, glove, 97 prim D for the Hall of Fame clamps. It's the only build that can have Hall of Fame defensive badges unless you go lower than that. But what I'm saying is that's the cutoff. That's the tallest you can be while still being that pure lock. Now before I say this, just know I have a 6'9" myself and I defend the perimeter with it, but I don't think the 6'9s are meant to be a perimeter defender so much. You're kind of a swing guy where you can be able to guard guards, you can guard bigs, you can guard whoever pretty much. With this build, we don't have the block and interior D upgraded super high, and I don't have great rebounding on it. This is meant to be more of a demigod build, so to say. We can do it all. And to be honest with you, that's what I think 6'9" should be made for. The reason for that being, as you can see for the finishing badge tiering, you have Slithery in tier 1 with Limitless Takeoff in tier 2 and then Posterizer tier 3. That is a huge advantage compared to the 6'8s and below. Where if we now compare it to the 6'8" that I just created, as you can see, you now have Posterizer, Slithery, and Limitless Takeoff all in tier 3 just for 1 inch of height. So this is where I would argue that 6'8s are meant to be outside guard. Obviously, a guard is a little bit of a controversial thing to call it. I think you should either function as a outside sort of screen using point guard, so to say, or point forward, or like this one is kind of a two-way sort of secondary ball handler. You can be a lockdown and still be a great ball handler as well. The second one that we'll showcase is an actual outside oriented guard and actually does have pick and roll ability. This one, in my opinion, with only 84 3-pointer, shouldn't exactly be using screens and such a lack of finishing or anything like that. I think this is more meant to be a secondary ball handler while you're an elite lockdown defender. As you can see, this is crazy. I mean, this is some really good stuff right here. 92 prim gives you the gold clamps, 95 steal for the gold glove, 93 block for the gold anchor. I mean, this is ridiculous. 94 rebound for the box out beast and rebound chaser on Hall of Fame and gold. You have good physicals, good acceleration, good stamina, all types of stuff like that, and it's at the expense of your finishing. Now, if you guys saw the video, I did post the power of 50 dunk in 2K23. It's pretty ridiculous. You get the Manu Ginobili dunk package with this, and I gotta say, I'm a pretty huge fan of it. I'm not gonna lie, it's pretty effective. I would probably recommend to just run Bronze through Fearless Finisher with this 3 finishing badge build. It's pretty crazy, but as you can see, 84 3-pointer, like I said, at 83, we're able to get that Agent 3 silver, Space Creator and Guard Up all get upgraded, and you get an extra badge point. Not that Space Creator and Guard Up are a very commonly used badge set, so to say, but either way, as you can see, very nice as far as all that being balanced well between the 3-pointer, the steal, all types of stuff like that, and not to mention too, like we said, the Hall of Fame quick first step at 89 ball handle. Now, however, the point of what I was saying, and we'll go ahead and go to the 6'9" in just a second after this, but I want to make the compare and contrast between this. As you can see, glove, tier 2 instead of tier 1. You have challenger and clamps, tier 3 instead of tier 2 like it was on the 6'9". Once again, the finishing badges, this goes a long way to be able to get slithery, limitless takeoff, both in tier 2 and tier 1 combined, and then obviously posterizer stays, but it makes it much more capable to make a finishing build. And this right here is just a little bit too hard if you ask me to make a finishing build at a 6'8", because at that point, then you have to take away from a lot of your build in terms of its versatility or great defense, or again, the Hall of Fame quick first step, or the Silver Agent 3 and stuff like that too, with that 83 3-pointer. And realistically, I think 6'8s are just meant to be an outside build. It's going to be too hard to put poster, slithery, and limitless takeoff on as a tier 3, even if it's just silver. That's literally still 6 plus 6, that's 12, and then 18 finishing badge points, and you still have to have 10 combined between tier 1 and tier 2. So you have to have 28 finishing badge points, or obviously one can be cored on silver, that would still be 22. So again, we come back to that 6'9" build right here. As you can see, 17 finishing badge points, ironically, because slithery and limitless takeoff are tier 1s and tier 2s. This goes deeper than just the fact that they're cheaper. It's the fact that you can use them as the 10 points that you're forced to be using in tier 1 and 2 combined, and you don't have to have anything else in the tier 3 besides posterizer. So as you can see, you can apply 3 here, 5 here, and then you combine 2 more between, like, I don't know, just acrobat on silver or something like that. There's your 10, and then you equip posterizer. Boom, there's your 17 finishing badges. Just like that, you can run limitless takeoff, slithery, and poster on gold for literally 17 points. And when you core posterizer or something like that as well, at that point, then you could just put it back into fearless finisher or something like that. Again, we have things like giant slayer, acrobat. I don't think giant slayer is really ideal for that though, but either way, you get what I'm saying though. This build is definitely more equipped to be a finishing build, and it's way more accepting of making something that does have this high dunk, as you can see. So 94 dunk, 80 driving layup, really effective as far as the finishing goes. And again, this is just an all-around demigod build. It's what these 6'9s are meant to be. Again, you don't have Hall of Fame quick first step, but you still have 87 ball handle, very good. 75 speed of ball still gives you all the good dribble styles. We have mediocre defense, but it's still plenty good. 24 defensive badges. It definitely goes a long way when all of them are tier 1s and tier 2s. Because again, you can run challenger, chase down, clamps, glove, all types of stuff like that. Still box out beast as well. All for very cheap, very good budget. It's really efficient as far as what these 6'9s can do, and that's what makes them so good if you ask me. It's literally just the badge budgeting. There's nothing special about anything to do with their badge counts and just like, you know, anything crazy you can do with them compared to the 6'8s. It's literally just the 6'8s have a tougher badge budgeting system. But real quick, to talk about what this build actually can do, as you can see, silver glove is still okay enough to get like pluck steals on people with no unpluckable. Like I said, 86 Prim D gives you that silver clamps, gold challenger, and Hall of Fame ankle braces, as well as Hall of Fame workhorse. So 86 Prim D goes a long way. 81 block plus 76 interior D goes a long way for defending the interior. I think it's plenty good. 73 defensive rebound gives you some solid chance at securing some boards, and again, silver box out beast, so it goes a long way. And then to be pairing that with 83 speed, 81 acceleration, 82 vert to be able to get those contact dunks for the elite contacts, because you have 94 dunk with this build, and then 99 stamina, again, is pretty crazy. 75 pass accuracy for that LeBron James pass style. 83 3-pointer we still get because I went down in the wingspan, so I'm not concerned with getting that 90 steal rating or anything like that, because at the end of the day, I don't think interceptor on gold is really that much of a crazy addition, and I don't think it's worth you going down to 82 3-pointer for. So again, the 6'9" is unreal as far as being an all-around demigod. And to talk about it as far as the title, where we ask which build is better, to give you my honest opinion, I think 6'9s are better, just because you can be a versatile, all-around, do everything demigod build. But the 6'8" specializes in a lot of different things. So like we just showed earlier, I'll go ahead and load this one up just to kind of spark your memory on this, because this build right here, 95 steal, 92 Prim D, 93 block. That is a pretty crazy combo. It makes for better lock builds, it makes for better two-way sharp sort of builds, and it makes for better outside point guards. Because I mean, this right here goes such a long way. Again, boom, boom, boom. All 3 of those gold badges that you can see between the tier 2s and tier 3s, between glove, clamps, and anchor, all unlock on that gold level. That's a crazy addition, and as long as you can put enough defensive badge points into your build to be able to achieve all of these things, I think it goes a long way. I would recommend, if you make something like this, to probably put your extra badges into defense as well. Around 32 would be really good, and it'll provide you to be able to run things like clamps, anchor, challenger, and rebound chaser, which is pretty crazy. And then you can combine between your tier 1s and tier 2s with like glove and chase down artist or something like that. You'll probably be able to afford a little bit of box out beast and workhorse if you put those extra defensive badge points in. Not to mention you're going to be trying to core something between anchor or like rebound chaser, maybe some easy ones that you can get on those tier 3s for 7 points back, and that does go a long way for your build, obviously. But again, we're going to transition into talking about what makes this so good as an outside point forward type build where you can use screens and actually be a little bit of a pick and roll user. Alright, so now we transition away from the max wingspan 6'8", and we're going to come to a 6'11" wingspan build that is at 6'8", 186 on the weight, and as you're going to see, crazy point forward sort of pick and roll user where you have 92 3-pointer, again for the gold limitless range, that does go a long way, 85 pass accuracy for that LaMelo pass style. We still have Hall of Fame quick first step with 89 ball handle, 77 speed with ball, again at 75 you still get the really good dribble styles, 92 prim D is kept for that gold clamps. We have 85 steal rating still, which again is only good for silver glove, but it is what it is. 75 block, as you can see that extra badge point right there paired with the gold chase down, 71 interior D, 74 D board, again silver box, it is what it is, 85 steal, 82 acceleration, and then pretty good stamina as well. Now again, this can be used really elite when it comes to the point forward style. I think that 3-pointer goes a long way. This is going to be a great shooter. I mean, this is really tough to deal with as well from an offensive output style. Agent 3 on tier 2 for that matter compared to the guards that get it in tier 3. And again, the very big focal point of what makes a 6'8" so lethal is the fact that you can go and get that ball handle to 89 and have that Hall of Fame quick first step. That is a very big upgrade compared to the 6'9". Again, compared with the fact that if you want to go with that max wingspan version, 6'8" is the only build that can unlock that gold glove compared between the two of them. Obviously, like I said, 6'9" can only achieve the silver glove with 90 steal rating as its absolute max, and there's definitely something to be said about that. I mean, I hear a lot of people talk about these two builds between the 6'8" and the 6'9" being the only thing they ever run into in 2K23. Well, then that means you don't run into the Hall of Fame glove builds. And to be real with you, I think you do. So that's why 6'7s are still used as well, because that's their only really big utility. They don't have very good badge tiering at all. The 6'8 is still like improved between this versus the 6'7". Like the 6'7" literally has glove, interceptor, challenger, and clamps in tier 3. That's unbelievably hard to do as a defensive build unless you're literally a pure lockdown. And again, it doesn't really have anything super special or perfect about it. It really, like I said, still has the same problems with finishing when you go with the posterizer slithery and limitless takeoff. So honestly, 6'8s are still pretty lethal when it comes to being a two-way point forward type build. And again, you really on these builds though want to avoid the finishing. I don't want to just keep on repeating myself over and over again, but this is really what sets these 6'8s back, is just the finishing tier. This is really tough compared to the 6'9", where the 6'9 gets literally slithery in tier 1, limitless takeoff tier 2. But anyway, I don't know how much this build really tailors to the actual average 2K player or anything like that. I will say, for me, who uses an inside big man, like a 6'9" type inside big, I absolutely love playing with builds like this at the 6'8" right here, where they have great 3-pointer, really good ball handle. They can be a secondary defender that just deals with the second best like offensive player on the other team, and then me, I can deal with the best like offensive player on the team. And at that point, it's a perfect marriage with this. I mean, it has great shooting, great playmaking, very good defense for that matter, and still great physicals as well, or at least the ones that matter, obviously, toward this build. But either way, again, it can still contribute in the rebounding a little bit. Doesn't really get bullied that bad down low with this like low of a rating right here. Obviously, it's not great, but you're still 6'8 with 6'11 wingspan, so it's not like you're really just going to get dominated or anything like that either. Alright, so to come back to the menu right here and just recap one last time about what separates these builds, it's going to be badge tiering and attribute caps that they reach for certain thresholds. So again, what separates them the most is glove ability. The 6'8" can get gold at max wingspan. The 6'9" can only get silver. Again, quick first step as well. You can only get gold quick first step on the 6'9" compared to the Hall of Fame that you get on the 6'8". However, the badge tiering, being super OP for the 6'9" as far as finishing and defense goes, allows it to be a more all-around demigod build that has finishing on it, whereas the 6'8", if you try and put finishing on it, it will struggle a little bit. So if you ever see people in the park on a 6'8", it likely means they're a little bit more outside oriented, probably only have like 80 dunk just to get quick drops, whereas the 6'9s could very likely have contact dunks. And I'm not saying the 6'8s can't have contact dunks, but I'm just saying that these 6'9s are so much more tailored to actually having contact dunk ability, a more defensive spread as far as like not having elite perimeter defense, but they still have good interior defense combined with very solid perimeter defense as well. And that's about as far as the comparison goes between the two of them. Again, it's just a lot of things to do with certain badge levels and badge tiering that completely set them apart. I don't know if the rating difference is that crazy. I mean, the only big differences you get between the two builds is about 5 steal rating and maybe like 1 or 2 3-pointer. Nothing super crazy as far as the finishing goes. The speed and acceleration differences aren't that crazy either. It's literally just quick first step, glove, and badge tiering. It's literally all it is. So again, If you're looking for an outside point forward type build, 6'8" is definitely your style. If you're looking for a secondary ball handler type build that can still play elite lockdown defense too, 6'8" is also your build, just at max wingspan. And then if you're looking for an all-around do-it-all demigod, the 6'9" is really your build. So my final words on this, I believe the 6'9" is the best build in 2K23. I think 6'8" is still very good though, for that matter. And not to mention, there's still pros and cons to everything. I'm starting to be a lot bigger of a fan of the small guards. I actually have made one myself, and I'm gonna create it pretty soon. It's this build right here. But anyway, I am actually a huge fan of the small guards now. I think they're very good with the acceleration all the way upgraded. I know some people will hate, I know some people will sleep on it. I think if you have good defense on it, it can go a long way with it. And I'm still a huge fan of 6'7s. Obviously, that's where the pure locks are, the 99 steel guys. And that's what really people cry about the most in this game, if we're being honest, is the Hall of Fame glove dudes. Yet, it isn't the super crazy do-it-all demigods of the 6'8s and 6'9s. So, I don't know, it's hard to say. There's a lot of variety to this game. 6'10s and 6'11s can get the big man contact dunks. They're extremely good at doing that. You obviously need to have bigs somewhere when it comes to the rec and pro-am and stuff like that. So this game has a lot more variety than people will give it credit for, other than just saying all anybody runs is 6'9 do-it-all demigods and maybe some 6'8s here and there. Because I don't think they realize how many more 6'7s are actually in the game, how usable small guards still are, how good bigs can still be. I think people are really asleep. But anyway, that's all video. Hope y'all enjoyed. If you made it to the very end of the vid, put 6'8 or 6'9 in the comments. Show your support to me all the way through. And on that, hope y'all enjoyed. Take it easy, man. Peace.